Hi guys, it's Keith Becker here. I'm backstage after our event up here in a town in northern South Dakota, way up north by the border here, and had a really good event. But I'm backstage and we were set up to film a testimony, but unfortunately and sort of fortunately, we're not able to interview the kid. And so I thought, you know what, I just want to share this because it's quite unique what happened. This boy came forward tonight, committed his life to the Lord, and just to be real honest, a pretty rough young man, dyed hair that is orange and yellow, and just a breath that was full of smoke. Just, it looked very downtrodden. Well, he came up to me after he came forward and sort of in his broken voice just looked at me and said, "I felt something I've never felt before." And I said, "What is that?" He said, I felt this weight lift off of me. And he just went on to describe his life that is filled with so much pain. His dad's in California. He's having to work just to pay the bills for his mother at home. I mean, this kid's in high school paying the rent. Well, I was listening to him and I said, I want to interview you. Can I get your testimony on video? And he said, yeah, that'd be great. Well, as I was asking him about videoing his testimony, well, this pastor came up. And the pastor said, "Hey, I've got to leave. I'll take you home tonight." And the boy looked at the pastor and said, "Well, I'll just stay with her," pointing over here. And I looked, and well, it was a girl, of course. And I said, "Is that your girlfriend?" And he said, "Yeah, I live 20 miles out of town. I'll just stay with her." And of course, my heart kind of sunk, thinking, you can't come to Christ and stay the same. And in fact, you can't go back to the same. And so I grabbed his girlfriend. I said, "Can I talk to you both?" And I explained to him, in fact, 2 Corinthians 5:17, those who come to Christ are new creatures. The old is gone. And I asked him, I said, "What's the old in your relationship, your boyfriend-girlfriend relationship?" And he said, "Oh, no, we're not sexually active. We just sleep together. We don't actually engage in that." I said, "Now wait a minute. You came to Christ tonight. You can't go back to the old life." I said, "This pastor will take you home." And he just sort of kind of sunk, because it was really powerful to see. This was his first chance to obey Christ. So quickly, these kids are thrown back into the lion's den. Guys, that is our challenge, to call them not just to make a decision for Christ, but to follow Jesus. Well, he kind of sat there and just looked down at the ground for a moment, and I said, "So what do you think you need to do? What would please Christ in this situation?" And he just sat there and he said, "I need to go home." And so the pastor said, "Okay, I'm ready to take you home." So the kid's not here to share the testimony, because if I'd kept him here to share the testimony, he most likely would have missed the ride from the pastor, which wouldn't allow him to obey Christ, because he'd be here and he'd stay with his girlfriend tonight. So just I guess a unique thing I wanted to share tonight. We call people not just to raise their hand and say yes to Jesus, but as importantly to say, "Jesus, I will follow you," even when it means saying to your girlfriend, "I got to go home." Thank you, guys.